StFX. Are you ready to relay and celebrate our 10th anniversary relay to StFX? So welcome to the stage for 2014 Masters of Ceremony, Megan and Marie Wright.
Please welcome your survivors of 2014. All right, so welcome everybody and thank you for coming. Big round of applause. Round two. All right, so I've already been introduced, but my name is Megan Wright, and this is obviously my lookalike twin sister, weird twin sister, Marie Wright. We'd like to thank you for coming, and we'd like to welcome you to the 10th annual Relay for Life at StFX. Please join us. Please join us in the singing about Canada. Maya Laughlin, please join us to sing. Keep our land glorious and free.
Thank you for having me here tonight. I am a 12-year cancer survivor. My journey with cancer began in January 2002 when I found a lump in my left breast. Within 3 days, excuse me, I had my first ever mammogram followed by an ultrasound and a core biopsy. I became concerned with things moving so quickly. A week later, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Cancer is really scary because not all of us survive. My daughter Megan was living at home attending StFX, while my son Chris was attending agricultural college in Truro. I was so concerned for them and thankful to have them here with me. I took a leave of absence from the daycare where I worked. Once I was diagnosed, I had so many decisions to make and unanswered questions. Excuse me. Lumpectomy versus mastectomy. How do I continue to pay my bills as I was a single income earner? Would I recover from this? On February the 4th, I had my lumpectomy surgery and 12 lymph nodes were removed. 10 days later, I found out my cancer had not spread. I was so thankful and relieved. On February the 18th, I registered with the Canadian Cancer Society. I was fortunate to be a recipient of services they offered, which included gas money for trips to Halifax and staying at the lodge that gives for free. I learned the value of the efforts we are making here tonight, fundraising for the Relay for Life. I made my first trip to Halifax on March 14th to see what treatments I would need. They recommended chemo and radiation. I reluctantly agreed to both. I had my first chemo and infusion on March 20th. I was so nervous. In a matter of months, I was diagnosed, operated on, and had my head shaved by Megan. We decided to do this. I started losing my hair after my first treatment. We thought that shaving my hair off would be less traumatic, not the case. I was not that attached to my hair, but losing it to cancer is different. We both laughed and cried. Luckily, I had a supply of bandanas to wear. I must share here a story about a young man named Jamie, whom I babysat for 3 years. He came over to visit me one day and he saw me without my bandana, and he was quite affected by that. As a result of this, he decided to grow his hair to make a wig for somebody with cancer. He was 10 years old. I had 3 more chemo treatments and numerous trips to Halifax in between. My last treatment was May 24th. I experienced many days when I was sick on chemo. Excuse me, I'm very dry. Tomato soup and crackers became my food of choice for a couple of months. Megan just recently told me that's all she could eat as well, as she developed sympathy pains for me. I was told not to eat my favorite foods while on chemo, as you would not want to eat them again if you became sick. I still enjoy tomato soup today. Megan graduated from X in May. She left for Ottawa the next day, a very sad day for us both. On July the 4th, I went to Halifax to get my markings done for radiation. On August the 4th, I had my first treatment. I was so fortunate to be staying at the lodge that gives while I'm going my treatments. I met so many wonderful people and became friends with many of them. So many different types of cancer and many much more serious than mine. I consider myself very fortunate to be able to share stories with all these people and to laugh and cry with them. It was such a joyful time there for me. We were all there for the same reason, to be hopefully at the end of our treatments, cancer-free. That was not the case for many that I met. That was very difficult for me. My son Chris came to visit me on his way home from working in Connecticut for the summer. I was so happy for him to see the lodge and meet my new friends. There was a delightful man named George who was at the lodge. He kept everybody laughing. He loved to pull pranks on everyone and was all in good fun. So one day I decided that I should pull a prank on George. I thought it was much more amusing than he, but we shared a good laugh over that. I had a lovely roommate named Letha. It was a very hot summer. The lodge didn't have air conditioning. She wore a wig and I a bandana. When we returned to our rooms for the night, she would throw off her wig and I my bandana. What a relief. Excuse me. Both of us bawled as a baby. We shared a good laugh over that. My treatments were done at the end of August, and I was sad to leave the lodge and my new friends. I would cherish my time there forever. I had 16 radiation treatments, but they did not pose as many challenges to me as chemo. I was quite tired at the end, but not burnt like so many others were. I returned to work on October the 1st. My doctor suggested I do it part-time, but I had to return full-time, as I could not survive financially on the amount of money I was receiving from my insurance. A difficult first week as I was so tired, but I persevered and I got stronger each week. It was good to return and forget about cancer treatments. I found out about the Relay for Life in 2006 from a poster I saw at Shoppers Drug Mart. I knew I wanted to pay it forward somehow, and this was the opportunity for me. I registered a team that year. I moved to Ottawa in 2006 and I lived with Megan and I worked in daycare. I did 2 relays there. I moved back to Annapolis in 2009, have been doing the relay every year since. I have so many wonderful family and friends who support me in my fundraising every year. I have made this my passion. I'm so happy to be a cancer survivor so I can pay it forward to help others who are struggling with cancer. I need to thank all my wonderful teammates over the years. They have always supported me whenever scheme I came up with to raise money for the relay. I'm so thankful to have my daughter Megan, my son Chris, his wife Bethany, and their precious baby Samuel here to share this evening with me. They were so supportive of me. We shared so much together. I would like to acknowledge Susan Kaiser, who has been the coordinator of the relay here for the past 8 years. I've been so appreciative of her support over the years, as have many others. In closing, I would like to applaud each and every one of you here tonight. Your dedication and passion for the relay inspires me. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Loretta. So as you can see, Loretta is a pretty inspiring woman. She's a cancer survivor and she's been very dedicated to Relay for Life here at StFX for the past 6 years. We actually have a surprise for Loretta. She doesn't know what's going on, but I have a letter here from the Canadian Cancer Society to read to her. Dear Ms. McGilvery, it is my pleasure to congratulate you on receiving the 2014 Nova Scotia Division Certificate of Merit. This special award is reserved for individuals who have given meritorious volunteer service to the Canadian Cancer Society, demonstrating the Society's missions and values within their community. Your generosity and dedication to the cancer cause, demonstrated through your extensive support of Relay for Life, has assisted the Society greatly in our mission to eradicate cancer and enhance the quality of life with people living with cancer. So, they have included here the person who nominated you, what they said about you, Loretta. Loretta has been a team captain and involved with the StFX University Relay for 6 years. Her dedication and support during this time has been inspiring. Her team has been the top fundraising team for 5 years, with Loretta setting the example and being the top fundraising individual for those 5 years. In addition to that, Loretta has been the survivor speaker at Relay and is an inspiration and leader to all of the youth teams. She sets a very high standard for herself and inspires her team members to raise as much money as possible. So, we want to say congratulations to Loretta for receiving this awesome award, and we want to thank you for your so much dedication to the event over the past 6 years. So here's a big
survivor, I tend to look at this event a bit differently, as do other survivors here tonight and across the country. Tonight is a night that we are reminded that we are not alone in the fight, and that we have support that can get us through the tough times. Tonight we celebrate the lives lost, honor those who have survived, and support those who are still fighting. And with all that being said, I would like to sincerely thank everyone who has come to celebrate our lives tonight. I was diagnosed with high-risk ALL leukemia when I was younger. I didn't understand that it was cancer that was the menace that caused my many needles, surgeries, and restless nights. I did, however, see the pain it caused my family, and I knew that there was something wrong. Whenever I think back, one thing that is prominent in my memory is feeling exhausted all of the time. That is one thing that chemotherapy does to you. Something is supposed to make you better, it makes you feel much, much worse. As time passed, I quickly learned what cancer was, as it was a new and growing part of my life. I also learned that what my medication was doing to me, and losing my hair was the most obvious, and at that age was the hardest part to understand. I asked my mom, why is this happening? And she would just say it was getting rid of all of the bad cells and replacing them with new ones. However, you could not get me to wear a wig, because although a wig would help you fit in with everyone else, it was just another accessory that I had to carry around, like my meds or my feeding tube. With all this being said, I wouldn't change a thing about my cancer, because it has made me who I am today, and as they always say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that is so true. I would not have been able to meet my best friend, Katie McLeod, who was also a cancer survivor of 10 years. And I also would not be able to meet my inspiration and the name of my team tonight, and that is Dee. So I'd like to take a moment to tell you about Dee. Dee is my ultimate inspiration, and she has had cancer for 12 years, and still has cancer. She is the support system for me and many other childhood cancer patients and survivors who know her. Just talking to her is therapeutic, and she's strong and demonstrates the way life should be lived no matter what. She is a leader, a teacher, a support system, a comedian, a friend, and she embodies what it means to live life to its fullest, and she does it in spite of her cancer, which is something that I love about her. I would also like to give a shout out to all the survivors here tonight. Obviously, we did something to get here. I'd also like to mention a newborn angel from home, Kellen Surratt, and a new survivor from home, Emma McCrae. She's only 5. And my best friend again, Katie, who is also a cancer survivor. It is obvious that cancer affects everyone, and when you come to an event like this, you see so many faces with those yellow shirts, and it becomes really overwhelming. I am grateful for the support of my friends and family, and Camp Good Time especially, which is one of the organizations that tonight donates their money to, and without that, that's really, really supportive for me. I mean, so many people you get to meet that have the same scars as you and aren't going to judge you because you're bald or because you have a prosthetic leg. You know, it's great. So I can proudly say that I'm an official cancer survivor of 9 years this May. So this event means so much to me, and I could not be happier to be celebrating it with such a fantastic group. With people here tonight, you guys are great. I love StFX so far as my first year student, and there was no other place I'd want to be to celebrate this important event in my life, so thank you for being here.
Thank you, Loretta and Hailey, for sharing your creative stories of survival. The Cancer Society is fighting hard to ensure that there are even more stories of survival in the future, and our involvement tonight helps that dream come